You don't know, you damn well should know. I am Reynolds, and today I want to tell you about the time I found Waldo. In the UK, I suppose, we know Waldo as Wally. We call it Where's Wally. In the US, it tends to be Where's Waldo. So I'm going to stick to Waldo since the majority of my viewers and my subscribers are from the US. So I will speak in simple terms for you charlatans. Anyway, I actually found Waldo once, and this is the story of that. So it was only a year ago or so. I was actually very tempted to make the video back then, but I didn't think it fit into my content I was making at the time, so I didn't. But about a year ago, it was very near my house. I was walking out of my house. I was going to the store. It was in the morning, maybe just after 10 a.m. and I was heading down to the store. And I was heading there because I was going to get some bottled water. Yeah, in Scotland we have very good tap water, maybe the best tap water in the world. But I don't drink tap water, I drink bottled water. So I was walking to the store to get this bottled water, and I was maybe about, the store was maybe a 5-minute walk from my house. I was maybe 2 minutes into the walk, and I saw in the distance this stripe. It was like a stripy green colour. So I saw this stripy green colour and I thought, well, I've not really got much to do today. I'll head over and maybe investigate a little. So I headed over there towards the stripy green colour. I got there and it was just a bush. It was a bush, and for some reason someone had taken a paintbrush and wiped right through it. I was like, oh, that's a bit of a waste of time. Although it was just maybe 5 steps over to the side, it wasn't very far. So I continued on with my walk, which is when I saw another out of place stripe. And this one, it was just a white stripe on the ground. So I walked up to that, and someone had, woo, a little white paint strip right across the ground. And at this point, I'm very close to the shop. I can actually see the shop, the store, in front of me. I can see it from where I am. And I'm like, that's very strange. So I continue on and I go inside the store. And I'm walking through the aisles. And I'm going up and I'm trying to find the bottled water. And oh, there's the bottled water. So I pick up a case of, I think it was 6. I pick up a case of just 6 bottled water. And on the top of it, there's a big white paint strip across the top of the plastic that's holding it all together. So I put it back down and I picked up a different one, and this one didn't have it on it, so I took that one and I took it down to the checkout. And as I got to the checkout and they scanned it for me and I was about to pay for it, I took out a £5 note, handed it over, and as I was handing it over, there was a strip of white paint right down the middle of the £5 note. I gave it over anyway, and the cashier didn't really take any interest in that, and they put it in the register and they took out my change and they gave it to me, and off I went. I got outside and I walked back over the white strip that I had seen on the way in. It was on the floor. I started getting to the area where I could see the bush and it still had the paint line through it. I passed by that, and eventually I could see my house. And as I got to my house, I kind of noticed something on the side of the wall of my house where my bedroom window was. And there was a strip of white paint across my window. I had no idea what was going on. So I kind of took it back and I took a picture of it, and I was going to post it on Twitter, which is when I heard a hello. It sounded like Mr. Bean. It was like hello. Yeah, it was like Mr. Bean somehow like around the corner or something. So I put my phone back in my pocket and I turned around and I just kind of walked around the corner, around past a couple other houses, and I looked down and I saw this little red bauble sticking up at the back of a little Mini Cooper. So I kind of walked towards it a bit and I saw it kind of poking out, and I saw someone wearing black glasses and they were wearing a red and white striped hat with this little bauble on top, and I'm like, what? And I started getting closer, and it was a dwarf. It turned out it was a dwarf, and he was just wearing a red and white striped hat, and I was like, what? I was so confused, and maybe it wasn't a dwarf, maybe it was just a deformed child, but I think it was a dwarf. So I just took no notice, and it turned out the dwarf was actually just playing hide and seek with a friend or something who was in the bottom of a flat across from him, and he was trying to hide behind his car. So I turned around and I started walking back to my house. So I got over to the house, I got to the front door, I took out my key, I was opening the door, which is when I noticed that the keyhole was white for some reason. Normally the keyhole is obviously, it's a metallic, it's a metal, it's like a yellow, gold, bronzy colour. I don't know what colour it is, I can't remember, but it was white instead for some reason. So I took the key back, I put it in my pocket, and then I went to take up my phone again to take another picture, which is when I felt a tap on my left shoulder. I turned around and there was a man 6.5 feet tall, and I'm 6'1", 6'2", so this guy was bigger than me. I turned around, this guy, I looked up a little, he was standing there with, he had like hat hair, so it was as if he had given this hat to the dwarf over there. He had like hat hair, he had no glasses, he was kind of squinting at me, so I think he gave his glasses to the dwarf as well, and he was wearing a sweater, it was red and white striped, and he was basically wearing exactly what you would expect Waldo to be wearing, and I was like, oh shit, you're Waldo. And then he punched me in the throat. Waldo punched me in the throat. I fell back into the door, but the door wasn't open, so I just kind of hit against that and fell forward a bit, grasping. He didn't quite get it square on, but he punched, and he just kind of turned around and he started strolling away. So I kind of tried to regain my breath. I was standing up. He's still wandering down the street. I tried to move over as fast as I could. I tried to follow him. Down the street. But as I followed him down the street, he turned a corner, and as I turned the same corner, he was just gone. I don't know where he went. And when I turned the corner, it was a big open space. I don't know where he could have. There wasn't any houses, there wasn't cars, there wasn't bushes, there was nothing. He was just gone as we both turned the corner. So I didn't know what to do. He was gone and he had just punched me in the throat. So I walked back to my house and I walked up and the paint was gone. There was no paint on the side of my window. There was no paint on the keyhole. And I was thinking, did I just imagine this? No, I can't have. My throat is killing me. It's so sore. So I quickly ran over to where the dwarf was, but he was gone as well. So I went round to where the bush was that had the thing on it. And the bush, it didn't have the paint on the bush either. So I kept going along, and the white line that was on the floor out near the shop, that was gone. I went back into the shop. I had left the 6-pack of water on my doorstep. I went back into the shop. I looked for the exact same pack of water that I had picked up before and put back because it had the strip on it. And it wasn't there either. I couldn't find it. Maybe someone else had bought it, I don't know, but I couldn't find it. So I left and I rushed back home, and my water was gone from the doorstep. Water was gone from the doorstep. And all the money I had on me was that £5 note, and the 6-pack of water was like £2.60 or something, so I didn't even have enough to buy a new pack of water. So I went back into the house, I went up to my bedroom, I sat down, I turned on my laptop, and I'm just trying to come to terms with what just happened. Did I imagine all of this? Am I dreaming or something? I knew I wasn't dreaming, and the reason I knew I wasn't was because I took my key out of my pocket. I had just opened the door with it. I came upstairs and I took my key out of my pocket to put it down where I usually put it on my desk. And the key had paint on it. it had paint on it. It had a white line. And the white line was from when I was trying to open the door the first time, when I noticed that the keyhole was covered in paint. When I put it in, obviously some of it rubbed off onto the key. So I knew that it must have been real because there was the paint there. I don't know how it was all cleaned up. I don't know where Waldo went. I don't know where that dwarf went. But I knew it was real. And that's the story. I've never told this story to anyone because they probably think I was insane. But I don't care anymore. Which is why I'm putting it out here. I'm putting it out here to YouTube for everyone to see. Putting it here to VidMe for everyone to see as well. It's on YouTube and VidMe. And I hope that people believe me, because it's a very traumatic experience. And sometimes I can't get to sleep at night just worrying in case Waldo shows up at my window. Or if I wake up one day and my window I can't see out of it because there's white paint over it. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, you enjoyed my stories, please check out some of the other storytime videos on the screen now. If you really like my content, become a patron. If you become a patron, you can get access to some of my videos days early. You can get sneak peeks of my upcoming work, you can get free ebooks, and lots of other great perks, so check that out as well, link in the description. Until next time, you're welcome, society.